Should I rent a house or buy a house? When I tell people that I'm a finance coach, this is one of the top questions that they ask me. So I'm going to quickly walk you guys through an analysis on how to make a fact-based and data-driven decision on whether to rent or buy. So let's dive in. The first thing you're going to need to do is make some assumptions about tax rates, interest rates, and property appreciation rates, as well as the increases in rental rates in your area. You're also going to need to figure out how much it would cost you to rent a place versus how much it would cost to buy. In this analysis, I've made simplifying assumptions, but if you're going to make a home purchase in real life, you're going to want to spend some time researching all of these assumptions so that your analysis can be as accurate as possible. Once you've narrowed down these assumptions, you can calculate the true cost of ownership and calculate how much cash flow is actually going out of your pocket at the time of the initial purchase, as well as in the years following. For my analysis, I'm using a 5-year time horizon and assuming a 30-year mortgage. Given that over 5 years, it would cost us about $128,000 to rent and about $261,000 to buy a property. If the decision were solely being made on cash flow, the decision would be in favor of renting. However, we all know that cash flow is not the only reason people buy. A lot of people buy because they want that opportunity to build equity. So that's what we'll calculate next. As you can see here, over the course of 5 years, this property was able to generate approximately $84,000 of equity for us, while the renter accumulated exactly $0 in equity. If we were making the rent or buy decision solely on equity value accumulated, we'd decide to buy. So what is the right answer? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's actually sort of a combination of both. You're definitely going to want to take in the impact to your cash flow and the equity value that you've accumulated. But you're also going to want to take into account the opportunity costs of tying up all that capital, including the down payment, the closing costs, and all the monthly costs that you're going to put into owning a home, and calculate what return you could have gotten on that money had you put it into the market or into another profitable investment instead, which is exactly what I've done here. I've taken all of the money that you would have put into owning a property and instead taken it and put it into the stock market. I've assumed a 10% annual return based on the average of the S&P over time. However, as we all know, over the past several years, the returns on the stock market have been a lot higher than that. But to be conservative, we'll stick with 10%. If you take into account the cash flow, the equity value creation, and the returns that you could have made in the market, what you end up with is a net worth increase of about $200,000 if you decided to rent, and a net worth increase of about $84,000 if you decided to buy. This spreadsheet is currently up on my Stan Store, completely free. Feel free to